All right, so our sutra is 340. Udana, Jayat, Jala, Panka, Kantaka, Adishu, Asanga, Utkrantihi, Cha. By mastery over the Udana nerve current, the upward vital air, one accomplishes levitation over water, swamps, thorns, etc., and can leave the body at will. Well, I think it's a good thing that you can levitate over thorns because that's very important. My favorite bit about this sutra is that it's all book 3, right? And then we have to remember book 3 is it's the book that really goes, what makes you open your mind. But I love this idea of levitation and this idea of being able to, when you focus on that upward current of that lifting energy, that truly uplifting energy, that the body gets light enough to leave heavy, tangible, the physical realm of self. Now, there's been a lot of controversy with levitation in yoga regardless, and if you look at or read Autobiography of a Yogi, right? This is what this is all about. This is levitation, and this is floating through walls. And the big joke that I've always had with my teacher trainees is that there is going to be a day when I feel like I'm ready, and I'm going to just run through the wall. But think about that, because all of that really is 2 things. 1, absolute faith, right? If we, with every bit of the capacity of the mind, not just our thinking mind, not just what we use as we're walking through the world, if we, with every bit of who we are, believed that we could do something like that, that we could levitate, that we could run through a wall, would we actually be able to? I mean, this is the idea, right? Is that if you believe, if you have 100% faith in something, then it is no longer impossible. But also, the second thing is that the idea is sameness. The idea is same. We're all of this. We're all made of the same stuff. And we're all sharing space and comprised of these energies that have to live in space together. If we believe that we are same, right, rather than separate, would we be able to just merge right through it? Because individual, separate I does not exist with the nature of the wall. The wall is no longer solid. The wall is another doorway for me to go through. Simple, because it's the same as I am. It is made of the same energy that allows me to and through. This is why I love book 3, which I've said in every sutra in book 3. I have a great belief in levitation. I do not think that this concept is impossible. I just absolutely don't. I know that there are a lot of different techniques and like strengthening Mula Bandha and bouncing off a mattress, but I call bullshit on that because I don't think that's levitation. I think that's a crazy strong Mula Bandha. If you can, even on a mattress, if you can bounce off 2 feet, I'm sorry. Yeah, you should feel pretty good about that. That's a very strong Mula. But I would not call that levitation. I feel that levitation is when everything is just kaivalya, is just absolute. And the body doesn't need the tangible separateness anymore. Sutra 41, Samana, Jayat, Jvalanam. So by mastery over the samana nerve current, the equalizing vital air, comes radiance to surround the body. This is Tejas. This is aura. And we all have one. right? I mean, and some days it changes. And maybe for some people every day it's exactly the same. Aura is that piece of us that truly does glow from the inside out and allows us to walk in the light that our soul carries. So this true shining out of what it is that we energetically feel, or sometimes it's what we're holding. Sometimes that tejas ends up displaying the chakra, that one system that is most efficient, just because it's trying to get your attention more than the others. And so maybe that tejas is orange and your aura is orange that day because something is really stuck in your emotional center and it needs to be cleared or cleaned out. Yeah, I mean this, they have the aura pictures, and energy can be measured, right? This is all, yoga is quantum physics, this is all quantum physics. And so if energy can be measured and color can be measured and sound can be measured, I feel, again, where in the mix of this does this have to be impossible at all? I don't believe that it does. I have always seen that coming off of people, and I trust it completely. I trust what I see. And, sometimes walking into a classroom to teach, that ends up being why I teach what I teach, because of just the overall color is the same in the room coming off of everybody. I've been seeing color that way since I was really little, and I was never told that it was weird or bad or wrong or, I think so much of this really is, though, just simply about faith, right? And the level of faith and belief you're willing to honestly have. There's so much fear and hesitation and questioning when it comes to ideas that are bigger than what maybe our thinking regular in the world mind would ever conceptualize. And so can we be open enough to push those walls further out to say, my faith is absolute. That I can have absolute faith in myself, in my sangha, in my practice, in the world as a whole. That's a very difficult one. Don't get me wrong. But the idea is that if there is enough faith, what are we actually capable of? Because most of us spend the majority of a day doubting or criticizing or judging too harshly ourselves or someone else. That's not faith, that's fear. And the main difference between faith and fear is what? Light or dark, confidence over ego, empowerment over attachment. I mean, faith is strong if we let it be. I think we need to try to walk in the world with less doubt and less fear and less criticism and see what happens. Just see what happens. Because someday I'm going to rise right up from the upward nerve current. That's the Udana. All right, guys. Shanti, Shanti.